Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 27th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Time just flying by, isn't it? You wake up and it's the first of the month. You go to bed and you wake up the next day, it's the end of the month. It's quite interesting how time is just absolutely accelerated on this planet. Remember when we were kids, we would say, it seemed like, remember the days would go by like molasses? Or if you're on a trip, you wanted to know when you were going to get there. And now it's accelerated to the point where you look at life as a blank canvas. It really is. If we looked at it that way, many don't. Out of pure nothingness, our awareness is manifesting everything we see around us. Out of pure nothingness, our awareness is manifesting everything we see around us. Even every thought that we think is currently our reality. And reality is based on whatever we choose to think about and imagine. There are no limits to what we could do with our lives. So it's like, it's never too late to start like today with the approach and attitude today that we are manifesting whatever we focus upon. Whatever we focus upon, we manifest. Period. Good, bad, ugly. Whatever we focus on, we manifest. No matter how the ego argues with us, or how frustrated we get, we're manifesting it. When we lower our frequencies, we will manifest that low frequency. That's why we have to be very careful on how we respond to things. And we have to be very well consciously aware on how we respond to things through the heart-mind. The universe is always holding its infinitely empty canvas out in front of you, and you can paint whatever you want on it. Our future is already bright and flawless. It's like a clean state or slate brimming with infinite potential energy and creativity. When we open ourselves up to this blank canvas, we tap into our unlimited potentiality. We access our power to manifest whatever we wish, want, and desire. So what new brush strokes are you going to be adding today? Infinite potentiality is all around us now. Most of us on this planet, I'd say everybody, is what? What's our motivation? Our motivation is to have abundance, right? Isn't it? And abundance has it's everything in life. Good health, abundantly, well-being, clarity, happiness, all kinds of, every cell of our bodies are pulsating and vibrating with super alive conscious energy right in this now. When we relax into our bodies, do we feel it? Like when you relax into your body, do you feel it? All your atoms are singing and dancing together. They are having a great party inside you. Now, your body is celebrating being alive in this universe. And if you look around you with eyes of gratitude and wonder, all you will see is a massive display of creativity, energy, and abundance. You are truly surrounded by abundance. All of us are in every direction, 360 degrees. Think about what actually had to happen for all these amazing material things to manifest themselves. Imagine all the time, creative energy and love that went into seeding and growing all the plants, trees, gardens, and flowers. Think about what had to occur for each of these houses, cars, TVs, computers, floors, streets, buildings, entire cities to manifest. Think about all the sex that had to occur for all 8 billion people to be born living on Earth today. Whoa. Remember that everyone, including all plants, animals, sea creatures, were all born from an orgasm. Now, this is getting really exciting. It's truly amazing, and best of all, that everything and everyone is here for our enjoyment. Now, do you see the abundance that is all around you? Do you feel it? If you think abundance in life is all about the surplus of money in your bank or how expensive the things are that you own, you are deeply mistaken. Some of the most miserable people in this world are the most financially wealthy. They simply don't know how to feel this divine abundance that is dancing inside them all day long. Real everlasting abundance comes from being in touch with the divine being who we all truly are. That creative, loving, juicy, alive essence of who has the potential to vibrate, gyrate, and reach the highest frequencies of inner freedom. If you're struggling with money, just start accepting the fact that in many ways you already are living an abundant life. It's more fun and enjoyable than pretending that you aren't. Enlightenment starts with choosing to see through a more expansive perception that makes us feel truly free. You can see that super rich and deeply appreciating being is growing and glowing inside you. Growing and glowing inside you. Our minds have a habitual tendency to escape into the future and avoid that which is here now. What is here now is exactly what will raise our vibration and bring us a deeper fulfillment in this life. So why do we continue to think about anything other than that what is here now? Escaping into the future is not a conscious thing that we do. It just happens because we are programmed to believe that dealing with what is here now is much more painful than pleasant. Once we stop the mind and truly surrender, we will experience what it is really here now and wake up from the dream. When we recognize the seductive dream the mind is continuously in, we begin the waking process. Those entertaining thoughts of the future are not as hypnotizing as before. When the dreaming mind is realized as an unfulfilling experience, we become reconnected with the divine source within the body. The body is where we will find our home. It is where we can relax and let go of that efforting part of us that is always trying to get to the end or some place that is better. Part of you is giving up your dreams and desires because you think that you will get somewhere in life by giving up something you want. This is the biggest lie of them all. How many people have done that? Thinking that you'll get somewhere in life by giving up something you want. It's just a big lie. It's the biggest lie of all. We've been led astray because we have forgotten that there is an infinite source of success and love inside each and every single one of us, available right now. The miracle isn't that some people wake up out of this dream. The miracle is that people don't. Adhyashanti. Now, sure, the future is entertaining. Yet, when the movie is over, you are still sitting, right, smack in the middle of your life as it was before the movie started. Think about how empty and purposeless you feel about your life after watching hours of movies or TV. The ego mind loves to be entertained and stimulated, yet this will never leave you fulfilled or raise your manifesting vibration. Everything outside the essence or center called you is considered to be your ego. It is not bad or wrong. It just causes suffering when you become overly identified or attached to it. Thoughts about the world will always captivate the mind and try to enrapture you with its drama. These illusionary thoughts and objects are good for one use only, your entertainment. Stay in your center, and you will enjoy the show a whole lot more. The mind will always make you think the grass is greener somewhere else. It will say, come over here. Think about this very important thing in your life. Come, repeat these same old thoughts again with me. You become so wrapped up in these future ideas that you feel you always need to be doing something. You feel you can never relax. Even if you have nothing to do, you feel you must fill your time with something. The future is waiting. Something needs to get done. When your mind gets anxious, don't pay any attention to it. Relax the tightened muscles in your face and body and rest as deep as you can into the center of your innermost being. Whenever you become sad, lonely, or feel empty, it is your imagined lack of someone or something in your life. It is the idea of an empty future that creates the pain you are experiencing right now. The mind provides you lots of pain. Can you feel it? Why not choose to transcend it by being here now? The now is the only thing that deeply and eternally gives us love, feelings of fulfillment, deep pleasure, and excitement. The now is where our magical body-mind is, and can open up our vibration to attract anything we can dream of. And yes, the mind's ability to create a future imagined reality is amazing, yet nowhere close to the power and magic found in the now. The mind can only exist if it is in the future or the past. The mind is nowhere to be seen when you are immersed in the now. When there is no attachment to an imagined future, there is simply a deep love for your life exactly the way it is. You have wasted countless hours, we all have, avoiding our pain, seeking future pleasures by daydreaming, rather than embracing the magical being inside us now. Perhaps we've been caught in the trap for years or lifetimes and are still unconsciously avoiding our present situation in life by worrying or daydreaming about possible future outcomes. It may seem worse dealing with your deeper feelings about what is currently happening now, so you become lured into wishful and worryful thinking. For example, let's imagine that we all hate our jobs and we have this boring project at work to finish. And we watch the clock, and our eyes slowly drift towards the window. And we start daydreaming about what we wish we were doing instead. Then we start worrying about getting our project done on time and frantically race against the clock to beat our deadline. Now, while we may feel good in future dreamland for a few minutes, we are soon sucked back into our current situation at work, which now feels even worse. The old dreadful feelings are there, like leftovers in the back of your fridge, molding away. Worrying about the future is like trying to eat the hole in a donut. Think about that statement. Worrying about the future is like trying to eat the hole in a donut. It is munching on what isn't. Barry Neil Coffin. We are not saying to avoid the future or that it is wrong to think about the future. All we are saying is it will never fully satisfy. When your mind is at ease, quiet, and undisturbed, you will find that which does satisfy. You will never be trapped in this illusion again. Once you see this, once you see this in your own way, you will abstain from entertaining your mind with it. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between daydreaming and practicing dream dialoguing. The big difference is how conscious you are when you do it. In dream dialoguing, you are using powerful intentions to take a desired outcome and feel as if it has already happened. That's the difference. Daydreaming is wishful thinking characterized by wishy-washy thoughts about the future. It hopes that some miraculous thing outside you will materialize your dream for you. When dream dialoguing, you speak out loud in detail about actions you have taken to manifest your dream. This gives your body the energetic blueprint to follow through with the manifestation of it. In fact, dream dialoguing is an amazing way to become more conscious when your mind tries to wander back into the future. How do you release your mind's compulsive obsession with the past and the future? How do you do that? How do you release it? Now, there are a few other tools along with dream dialoguing that will release you from this future obsessive mindset. One is to imagine a big red stop sign. Big one. Big, big, big. Anytime you find yourself wandering away from the present, just say stop out loud, and you will be thrown right back into the present moment, into the now. Now, the second technique is to consciously examine the part of you efforting to get to some better future and result. Ask yourself, what really is my motivation? Where is my motivation coming from? Is your goal bigger and better than the divine presence of your infinite being? We each have a very frustrated ego who thinks the future is better than the now. And remember, those thoughts about the future are still just thoughts, images, and illusions. They are not the big jackpot lottery ticket. And another amazing tool for awakening our minds to the present moment is to take 3 slow, deep breaths into your belly and say the magic words, "What is happening now?" What is happening now? Notice what you are feeling and experiencing. This simple exercise will instantly shift you out of the head and into the magical body-mind. The more you practice this exercise, the more you will realize that your past and present and future are perfect, exactly as they are. Now, the final technique is to focus on what is truly divine in this moment, whether it is a flower blooming, a sunset, or a couple walking by holding hands. When your attention is on the divine, you are fully surrendered to the now. This is where the real fun begins. The moment you are tapped into that which is divine, you see how your ideas about the future are insignificant mind games, and you find yourself on the cosmic playing field of life, with an unlimited supply of energy, love, and divine presence to share with Everyone. There's something that we all must know about the future that is very, very, very important. Although everything on a soul level is predestined, the future is never written in stone. The mind may not be able to understand this because life is innately paradoxical. However, all the things your soul decided to experience will one day manifest in this lifetime or the next. The big goal is not to fulfill all your desires and then be happy. The ultimate goal is to realize you already are a God, realized being who can manifest anything and sit back, relax, and truly enjoy the ride. The all-powerful God being, each of us truly are, would not have set it up any other way. What would be the fun of only having a predestined life? So anytime your mind starts worrying about those unwanted things that might occur, simply remember that when you look into the deepest possible divine truth of all existence, ultimately, the God source, you, are the creator of your reality and your destiny. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one, Albert Einstein. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is always the first thing. It should be automatic for us. Relax the body that you're in. Relax that body that you're in. There's only one way to really do it, and I'm not talking about synthetics or external stimulants or anything. It's your breath. You focus on the breath. You do easy, slow breath in through the nose, easy, slow out breath in the mouth. And while you do this and you focus only on the breath, you move into the now. And the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind don't come with you. They stay. They stay in the past or the present. They stay in the past or the future, not the present, not the now. They will not go into the now because they won't exist. They don't exist in the now. And by focusing on the breath, you're in the now, moment to moment. What is the now? The now is the God within you. This is how you communicate with the God within you. You still the mind, the ego, and subconscious mind. The body becomes totally relaxed, at ease, and not stressed. When we go into the future or the past, our body gets what? Disrupted, irritated, frustrated. Because we're counting on something, but we're not in the now. You see what I mean? In the now, you experience everything in the moment. And like I said, with dialogue dreaming, you literally look at things that have already happened. But to those that are not in the now, they haven't happened and they're chasing it. You see the difference? In the now, they've already happened. And dream dialoguing, they've already happened. These things that you are looking to manifest have already happened with the dream dialoguing in the now. These are things that you say out loud to yourself. Well, this is what's already here. I just haven't had access to it yet. It will be here shortly. Rather than all the other things that the ego mind plays on us. Oh, what if it doesn't happen? What are we going to do? Ooh, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? Something's got to happen. And see, that is the ego mind. Every single time. Now, the heart mind and the now, it already has happened. It's already happened. Whatever it may be. And you're good with that. And you accept that. Because you're only in the now. You're not in the future, you're not in the past. And to practice staying in the now is key. It's not like you, and of course we do float off. We have over 60,000 thoughts that we put out every single day. And we have these millions of thoughts that are actually, might as well call them programs of everybody else's thoughts that fly by us like clouds in the sky. They're not ours. Remember that when any of us send a thought out, that doesn't mean that we know every single thought we send out, right? But when we send a thought out, we're sending it out to the universe, whatever it may be. But when thoughts come in, they're not yours. They're not yours. They're tricky, though, because all of us get fooled because it's got to be my thought. I mean, it's got my name attached to it, and it hooks right on to what I was just thinking. Sure. And yet, but there's something that goes on in your heart mind that says, that's not your thought. Be aware that's not your thought. And so when we get to the point where we start to understand it, we start saying, that's not my thought. And it goes away. You just let them pass by. It's not your thought. It goes away. This is a way focusing on the now. Not the past, not the future. Focusing on the now. And you imagine the stress, anxiety, and fear and worry that we all possess, that we all generate, because we're constantly running to the future and we're constantly running into the past. And we do it so often that we don't know it. We're not consciously aware of it. It's like automatic. And then you find yourself worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. And by worrying about them, you manifest them. And then people say, well, 99.9% of the things you worry about never seem to take place. Why is that? They don't seem to take place. But they do in different ways. Not the way that you are worried about them happening. Say. So we practice staying and choosing to be in the now. And to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. A lot of us really beat ourselves up, come down on ourselves, lower our vibrational frequency by doing so, and then open up the windows and the doors for all the lower frequencies that come flooding in. And then you feel worse. And then you get more irritable. And then you attract more of the same. It's like when you're down and out, you ask yourself, what can I be grateful for? And it shifts you out of that down and out almost instantaneously. Because now you're focused through the heart-mind on what you can be grateful for. You can be grateful for you, the body that you're in, the life that you have exactly as the way it is now. This starts to pull your vibrational frequency up by you doing so. And see, a lot of people don't know this, but you ever get into we've all done this. None of us are exempt. But have you ever gotten into like a rut or a fix? Everything seems to just be humming along, right? Now, it's not like you out loud with yourself say anything. It's more of a feeling. And you project this feeling, like the ego mind is real tricky, so it's kind of light interjection. And people will manifest things, not consciously aware of it. They'll manifest things that will cause something to occur to break the pattern, to cause you to have to do things that you're not normally used to doing, to break the pattern, the ho-humness. And a lot of us do this. And then we wonder, where did that come from? Why is this happening? Everything that occurs in your life, you're doing. That's it. You're doing. Some way, shape, or form, you have manifested it. And can you unmanifest something? Yes. You can just say, I don't really care to have that in my life. I don't care to have that in my life. Not with the head, though. When you do it with the heart-mind. Now, you look in the body, right? Because you're not the body. You're not the personality. You're not the character. You're not your name. You're not your status on this planet. You're the God. You're the kingdom of God, the heaven, the God source, all of it. So when you look in that body, you see 7, they're like little balls of light, all different colors, and they go from the tailbone to the top of the head. And what the heck are they? They're spirit etheric energy. You, the God that you are, all of us, are spirit etheric energy, omnipotent, powerful. And on this planet, they're called chakras. Definition of chakra is a wheel. These are wheels of light. And very powerful because they connect the emotionality of the body. They connect to the organs, to the blood flow, to the atom, right down to the quantum quark. And you, the God, flows through them. That's why they're there. And sometimes they can get out of whack. And emotionality and all kinds of things happen in the body that are misdiagnosed because of that. And how did the chakras get out of whack? How does that happen? Because of what the body's absorbing and that you're not in the now and you're either in the future or the past. You're always worried about the future on what's going to happen. So you literally take yourself out of the now every time you do that. I've had people get frustrated when I said, you're manifesting that because you're focused on the future instead of the now, and they actually get upset about it. So we know these bodies, the gods that we are and the bodies that we're in, intimately. Intimately. And it doesn't mean we are aware, right? And maybe we take a lot of things for granted of the body. But there's that little feeling from the heart mind that says, all you have is the now. You don't have tomorrow and you don't have yesterday. Yesterday is dead. It really is dead. You've had it, you've experienced it, you're into the now. We are the power of healing these bodies. We will progress to fully understand them. And we'll be able to heal them in a blink of the eye. Not yet, but we're going there. By talking about it, we are headed that way. To acknowledge it is empowering and powerful for those of us in the know. Now picture in front of you 3 paths. Okay? You just happen to be standing in the center path, which is the now. You look to the left, you see the past. you look to the right, you see the future. Now, you also can see how they're constructed because each one has canopy of trees. They formed a canopy over the path, and they're all shimmering gold, the leaves, the bark, the branches of the trees. And you look down at the path itself, and it is a vibrant emerald green flaming grass. But we're curious, right? So we notice things. We notice that the path on the left, the past, is very worn, used a lot. The one on the right, the future, is very worn, used a lot. But the one we're standing on almost looks brand new. Why is that? Because the majority of us on this planet either live in the past or the future. And that's why those two paths are so worn. Now, we do reminisce. We all have memories of past experiences, right? So sometimes we visit them. We kind of daydream, so to speak. We go over past experiences. And we each have access to our own libraries, which is our subconscious mind, which basically absorbs and copies everything and replays it over and over again. And we go up there and we open the door and we turn on the lights and we grab some movies, books, and some pictures, and we watch the movies and we look at the pictures and we read the books. And we have fun. It's fun. But we don't stay there long. We put all the stuff away, we shut off the lights, we shut the door, and we move forward in life. And maybe on occasion we'll visit it. But there are a lot of people that go into the past and they stay there. After all, the majority of us either live in the past and the future or both at the same time. But they stay there so long that they end up bringing the past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past in that future. And then they catch themselves by saying, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, a lot of us want to know things, right? You ever get the urge? You just want to know things. You want to know things in the future, like what's going to happen in 2 days or what's going to happen in a week. And then you start attaching to it and you start expecting it, right? You got expectations and you have attachments. Now, you may think you don't, okay? Because you remember, the ego mind is really tricky. Because when you start doing this, you are not in the now. You were either in the past, in the future, or both. And what happens is you start manifesting whatever frequency you're at. A little bit of worry, a little bit of doubt changes the outcome of that incoming. Changes it. One doubt, one fear, one unsureness. And sometimes it's almost as like we're trying to sabotage good things coming into our lives. It's because we live in the future and the past and not the now. That's why all this happens. Now, if you were in the now, your feeling with your in the now through the heart mind would have been, it's already happened. That's it. Period. And you have faith and trust in the universe that it will be presented in a proper way at the proper time. With the right timing, everything. Perfectly engineered. Not one flaw. Not one hiccup. That right there was a little bit of dream dialoguing. And none of us are exempt from it. Wait, do we all do that? We're living in the future and the past at the same time. And we're ignoring the now. This is why we get this. Why do you think people get bored? Why do you think they get nervous? Why do you think they get antsy? Why do you think they get in a hurry, wanting to push and force things to happen? And as you try to force and push things to happen, they move further away. And this is why staying in deep gratitude is being grateful for every single moment you're in the now. every single moment you can that you're in the now to be deeply grateful for it. And remember, anytime that those tricky programs, those thoughts come in and you wander off, you just say, I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. And you will 3,000% of the time, which means every single time you focus on the now, your breath, you're in the now. And you go with the flow. And when you do this, you'll notice that you don't get irritated about anything. You just accept it as it is and go with the flow. And things absolutely manifest in that moment so that it isn't disruptive or it isn't damaging or it isn't something to worry about, say, or it's not something to stress about. That all goes away. Now, the soul, whatever you want to label the God inside of each and every one of us, the soul, the higher self, the spirit, the God, kingdom of God, God source, pure consciousness, pure energy. We enter these bodies. Heaven isn't a place. You, the God that you are, is heaven. Heaven being the place is one of the matrix traps. You're heaven, the God that you are. And the body is earth. You are literally heaven on this earth. We all are. All 8 billion of us. And every step we take, we're creating paradise. We're literally transforming this planet into a God planet paradise. No matter what your ego mind's trying to tell you. Oh, that's a bunch of crap. Oh no, that's not possible. You're unimportant and not powerful at all. You can't do that. That's the ego mind at work. And we shine our light. And we can shine that light any direction we choose, whenever we choose. And that light is the highest vibrational frequency that there is. Ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. Love. And we can direct it, we can blast it, we can beam it any way we choose. We can encircle this whole planet and permeate it with the love that we are. Now, some of us just maybe, in this lifetime, some of us will discover that when we decide to leave these bodies, right, and we go out into the sacredness of space, we will know that we are the light. We are the love. And the light comes from the love. So, when another light comes in, and it doesn't look like you, the light that you are, why would we go into that light? There's no reason to. But if you don't know who and what you are, before you leave that body, you will go into that light. And the whole thing will start all over again. With you having no memory of your past life. Or any life for that matter. Now, if you were to take a starship off this planet, and you got out far enough where the planet looked like a basketball, and you looked at the planet and you saw that the planet glowed. I mean, there's 8 billion in humanoid form, and then you've got all of the other things that gods enter to experience, physical form, trees, bushes, birds, dogs, cats, owls, all kinds of different animals, and rocks and crystals, and you name it. Okay? There's countless those numbers. And so when you look around the planet and the universe, you see all these other lights, they pale in comparison. They'd be like a lit candle in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. So this is a God planet paradise that glows. With the highest frequency of deep eternal love. Now, we have parts of ourselves that are awake. We know that. Parts of the gods that we are awake to a certain extent. Then there's the other parts of us that are just sound asleep. Now, there are parts of us that we deeply love them, just like we deeply love the parts of us that are consciously aware. They don't participate. They will wake up when they choose to wake up. They will wake up when they choose to wake up. So they're with us. Then we communicate with the parts that are awake. And this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is the Ascended Masters. Excuse me. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. It's all the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. It's all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath it. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. And the numbers really not worth counting because they're in Googleplexes. Googleplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Googleplexes, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be. And we're part of that. Just part of it. You know, trillions of us, 1,000 billion light years from here, we're part of them. They're part of us. There isn't a species or a physical form or any kind of form in all existence and beyond consciousness that we're not a part of. We're a part of everything. Literally. Now, light energy beings with this planet, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we don't see the different light spectrums. We only see 1% of what is. But you have the violet, the ultraviolet, you've got, different steps of violet, you've got the different steps of red and then infrared, and then you have blue, green, and the very different color spectrums. And there are light energy beings that are there in those spectrums. And they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations. We don't see them, but there is a group that these bodies we're in, are part of this group are very, very dependent on to sustain us, the gods within them. And this is the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Ask your body. Ask the body, can you survive without air, water, fire, earth, ether, wood? No. These bodies are super dependent on the elementals. Super. The magics. Now, the Ascended Masters, they're in a way, they're not the type of civilization that we would call, but everything is a civilization in some way, shape, form, or another. Now, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form, and they hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, their civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do, but the gods within their bodies and ours are one. Now, they don't knock on the door and have dinner with you. Maybe they do. But they will appear unexpectedly, where you're just kind of going about your business and your day, and then all of a sudden someone starts up a conversation with you. And you kind of are in this, you're feeling different in the conversation. And it may not be anything consequential type of conversation, just an ad-lib conversation with a stranger. But then after you're done, it dawns through the heart mind that, something, that was an angel. Now that I think about it, that was an angel. And you're filled with bliss. And they deliver all kinds of messages to us, but there is one grand message that they keep trying to get us to remember because they know we have amnesia. And that is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious, spectacular, phenomenal to be alive in these bodies? And it is. It's just, what do you do when you have amnesia and you don't have the memory of the God that you are, say, outside the body, and what that God is. So when you get in the body, the baby body, you don't know. In the beginning, you get in the baby body, you have all these feelings and sensations. And they come rushing in. And you don't know what to do. That's why you start discovering your feet and your hands and your fingers. And you're constantly looking around everywhere because you're looking through eyes of an organic body, not through the God that you are. The God, and then eventually you understand the God is looking through the eyes of that body. So we, as gods that we are, just to refresh your memories, outside this body, we don't taste. You can't savor an ice cream cone on a sunny day in the park because we don't do that. We don't go to the bathroom. We don't sleep. We don't eat. We don't make love. We don't kiss. We don't hold hands. We don't cry. We don't laugh. Can you imagine that? Just for a moment through the heart mind? That's a big wow. And why do you think physical vessels are created? So that we can experience physical life. See? And then we're so removed from our spiritual existence, the gods that we are, that we overly embrace the physical. And of course we take it for granted because we have nothing to compare it with. Isn't that amazing? So the majority of this planet doesn't have a memory of the gods that they are. So how do they become grateful for the body? The journey within starts to connect them back with the God that they are. And then they start looking at everything from a deep level of gratitude. Everything. Every second. Why the now is so powerful for all of us. Every second that we're in these bodies is deep gratitude. Every moment we can experience in these physical bodies is a hallelujah. Absolutely. And watch the frequency change for you. Watch your frequency completely change when you decide, only you decide, that that's what you're going to embrace. And not the ego mind, subconscious mind, but the heart mind. Now, we were taught that trees were what? Trees were life, right? They're separate from us, okay? And so we look at a tree, and isn't that a beautiful tree? And it's actually, you're part of that tree. You just don't know it. So some of us will enter the tree, give the tree energy, like we do with these bodies, and the tree will sustain the God within the tree from the God given the tree, the energy. Rocks. You can experience anything for a brief moment if you choose to. You can experience what's it like to be that rock. You know what? You go into a silence, you focus on the now, you close your eyes and you relax. And you focus on that rock, and you say, I'd just like to know what it would be like to be that rock. And in a brief moment, you'll know what it's like to be that rock. A cow, a bird, a tree, you'll know what it's like. How do you think some of us then decide, well, I don't think I'm going to go into a humanoid form, I'm going to go into a tree, or a bear, or a wolf, or cat, or rock. Interesting, isn't it? Now, they can surround us at any one time in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. And because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. So, guess what? You want them? Ask them. In the blink of the eye, they'll surround you, and you'll be in bliss. Now, the off-worlders, the Galactics and the Celestials, there's over 1,000 species that travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universe is every day. We're familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Avian. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our physical evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all focused on this planet. We're focused for a specific reason. Pure consciousness of the gods that we are have decided to increase the vibrational frequency and lift this planet and all life into a much higher vibrational frequency, which you're experiencing. But the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are hanging on for dear life to keep it in the lower dark matter frequencies. And because it is so powerful that love is the highest vibrational frequency, you're watching them vaporize, and you're seeing this triple black vapor all over the planet, rising off the planet, vaporizing, and just actually steaming off of the planet and totally being eliminated by the love. You can see that anytime you wish, because you can stand outdoors and you can look around you and you can see this dark mist leaving the planet. You focus on the now, you focus on your breath, and you look, you watch. Close your eyes through the heart mind. You don't need the eyes to see it. You'll see it because it's constant. Pure evil is being vaporized. It is literally being evaporated from the planet. Now we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow. And it continues to expand and intensify. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth guy Arya in this now. Now, this white fire circle of light emanates from all of us, the gods within these bodies, the love that we are, the highest of the highest high frequencies. And it is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 billion suns just to come close to its brilliance. And we're saturating this planet, permeating it and flooding it, 24/7, infinity and beyond. Head to toe, inside and out. With the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest, purest eternal love. And we begin to ascend. And as we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, that's not like an ocean that you would depict on this planet of glitter. It's way beyond that. So we come up the best we can with a combination of 3 experiences. Through the heart mind, we see this massive grand finale fireworks display. Nothing has ever come close to it on this planet. And then a grand finale laser light show display. And a globe, a mirrored globe, ballroom globe, that reflects all light and floods it out 360 degrees everywhere. Except this one's 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. So we picture this and we combine it all into one crescendo, one massive display. And that's about as close as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. And, we're curious. So we look for the points of reflection, and we get real close, and we notice that these little tiny microscopic mirrors that are perfectly etched. So we enter them. And then we find out that we're teaching each other, learning from each other. I don't care if you think that you're separate from another part of us 1,000 billion light years away, it doesn't matter, because we're all teaching and learning constantly. We're learning how to shift things differently, how we learn from others rather than ridicule or cut down or judge others. So what are they teaching me? And this takes us out of the ego mind and we go into the heart mind, the now. This is why you can communicate with animals. You can just sit and watch them do their thing. And you can focus and they'll respond because they have pure consciousness within them, the God. So doesn't it make sense that we're all part of each other, the gods that we are, that we should be able to communicate with each other, right? I don't mean talking. I mean through the heart-mind. And some will understand you when you talk, to a certain extent. Isn't that fascinating? How could we ever get bored with this life? The only reason we do is because we allow the ego mind to keep us either in the future or the past or both. And it's try to do everything it can to keep us out of the now. Now, we are immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that the gods that we are within these bodies are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond, we are protected with a white fire armor. that is emanating from each and every one of us, the gods that we are, the pure love that we are, the pure consciousness that we are in these bodies. This is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. So there's no breaching. There's no lower dark matters, 5 matter frequencies. There's no demon possessions or attachments. Ever. They can't sustain themselves around such high vibrational frequency. If they get too close, they vaporize. And they know this, so they stay away. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. And then, of course, there's possibilities with demon possession, attachments, and many other things. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this to remind the soul that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Second part of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this to remind the soul that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute, cleanse, purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbow. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees, the forests, the soils. We are the mountains, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time that you see a sunset or a sunrise, starry-lit night sky, ocean front, mountain view, that is the God that I am, through the heart-mind. And instead of saying, isn't that beautiful, which it is, but that means you're separate from it, which is not the case. So then you identify it by saying, that is the God that I am. And that's with everything. You look at the star in the heavens, that's the God that I am. Ego mind will try to keep you out of that. And of course we know that. But you stay focused on the now. You stay focused on the God that you are and watch what happens. We continue to ascend above the planet. And some of us step outside our physical form. If we're carrying physical form, we hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because it's really fun, and we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go into infinity and beyond. This, in turn, is creating this massive, super bright white, misty, cloudy formation. It's sparkling, reflecting. It's a spectacular view. And it enters through our heart-mind, right through our chest, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now we discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being. gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, massive abundance. And then we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of the column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. What is the golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love. And we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops, drops of the golden ocean. And this whole planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, is being completely saturated, permeated, and flooded with this deep eternal love. 24/7, infinity and beyond. And the only illusion is separation. We share a meditative sphere at Set Center Circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion, well over 1,800 of them, every day, 7 days a week for over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us, on and off world gathered, consciously aware to a certain extent, focused on the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. There's no escape. No escape for the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no matter where they are harboring themselves. All those meditations permeating this planet. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's why it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now, any of us can tap in to this. Have you ever noticed how your mind is a relentless thinking, striving, and demanding machine? It is always busy, always attempting to create a new you. The ironic thing is that with all this busyness, there's never enough time to stop and experience the real infinite you. So randomly today, be aware of the entertaining thoughts your mind focuses upon. Whatever your stories are about, your past and future, do not buy into them. For today, see how long you can actually remain in the present moment of now and let your mind totally relax. What will it take until all of your internal dialogue stops and the suffering is released? Your body-mind will naturally find this peaceful relaxation when you are giving 100% of yourself to this experience of life right here and right now. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. Sometime today, take 3 minutes to imagine all around you are divine beings of light. They have surrounded you with love, empowering thoughts, and absolute prosperity in every form. Breathe deeply for these precious minutes and feel these powerful beings are bathing you in their glorious divine light of love. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. And we'll return here Monday, March 28th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.